Hi all, welcome back to my channel. In this tutorial we'll be learning how to make this cowl bubu gown. Stay tuned as we go through the cutting process. It's actually very simple and easy to make. Let's move to the cutting table. So for this tutorial we'll be needing 4 yards of Ankara fabric. We'll be needing half yard of sequin material, then lining if you want to. Of course, lining is optional, but I added lining to give it volume because the Ankara is not the big Ankara, it's not the cotton Ankara, so I felt it would be too light, so let's put lining to give volume. So you can put lining to put volume. So to start with, let's get the length. Let's know how to fold. We'll be folding it in twos, the two edges of the Ankara fabric. And you see the two edges of the Ankara fabric, and this is why you have to use 4 yards of Ankara fabric, because it is the two edges, which is by 45, that you'll be folding together. Then down. So this one, the client already gave me 2 yards each, 2.5 separate yards, and 2 yards separately rather. So that's why it's looking a little bit small. So because it's a V-neck, I'll be making use of 3.5 for the width of my V, because it's only the front that is deep, the back is high, so it needs to be able to pass 2.5 by 6, because she wouldn't want any bit of her cleavage to show. So I'll be marking it down. Then the next is to be descending by half an inch, by 1.5 inch. So I'll be connecting it from my neckline to the base, to the sleeve side. That is that 45 inches that was folded together. That is how long the sleeves is going to be. That's how long the clothes is going to be on fold. So you fold it this way. Then for the down, I marked 12.5. My reason for 12.5 is because it's having an elastic, so it will still shrink once you put an elastic inside. Let it not be smaller than 12.5. but it can be more than 12.5. It can be 13 inches, but let's just make do with 12.5. So once that is done, we'll continue with the next part, which is the shoulder to the hip measurements. You have to measure the shoulder to the hip measurements of this client, and then we'll also need the shoulder to her thigh region, because it is from the thigh that the curve, this is the thigh region that the curve is starting, that cowl neck effect. So I'm going to be measuring here as well. You can see the line. I didn't know it was also the same color with the cloth. I will have used another color of chalk, but please pay attention to it. You will still get it that way. So this is the hip, and then that other one is the thigh. The next is for me to get the gown length of the gown, because the customer has already measured it to 2 inches. I didn't separate the length I needed initially, so now I want to separate it. Her gown length is 58, so I want to be cutting it off now, cutting off the excesses rather. So since we've gotten the gown length, what we'll just be doing is we'll be folding we're calculating at the hip measurement, addition of 2 or 3. Mind you, addition of 2 or 3. If you want it so wide at the base, you add 3. But if you don't want it so wide, you add 2 inches. Yes, so this is the hip measurement is 40. Addition of 3 inches here, it's for 10. 40 divided by 4, that is 10, plus the 3 inches. So you divide your hip measurement by 4 before adding the 3 inches, and then you connect. So this is how I'll be connecting it. Can you see? This is supposed to be my initial hip measurement. Do you get? And this is the 3. This is the 3 that it was supposed to be. But that is not what I'll be doing for the hip side. But because it is the cowl neck, I'll be taking it towards the end. I'm removing 1 inch just from my from the tip of my Ankara hair. Can you see what I'm doing? So I'm covering it from the armhole 1 inch after away from the tip of the Ankara. Then you give your cowl effect. I'm so sorry, the chalk was kind of blood, but you give that's why I'm rechalking it. Can you see the cowl effect that you will give? So you curve. It's gonna be sharp. It's not like when you're shaping a cloth and you don't want it sharp, the curve. The curve has to be obvious. So you're gonna curve it immediately from the hip to the thigh. Do you get? So from the hip, we have I think it will be addition of about 10 inches or so. You curve it down. That's why I'm also using scissors to cut it so that the effect is going to show. I didn't know night chalk was this blood. But please, if you follow through, you will get the points, please. And let me know in this comment section if you really didn't understand it. But if you follow through the process, I bet you would understand it. So this is the cutting process. You see, always slant by 1.5 inch from the neckline. From the neckline. So I've arranged it here. Can you still see that curve? Can you see? So you can decide, this one is when I added 3 inches. You can decide to add 2 inches. Because along the line, I was now like, okay, I think adding 2 inches is going to be nice. So I removed by 1/2 inch. So I still followed that curve, but decided to take it I say 1/2 inch, 1 inch more inside. So this is me here, trimming it to 1 inch. But that's why I said you can add 2 or 3, depends on how free the customer will want the base to be. So since, well, we'll still be slitting the front of the cowl neck, so I decided to make it this way. I hope you're able to follow through. So that is that about the front. The next is the back, and for you to achieve the back is just simple. Just for you to place the front on the back, which I have done here. Then you get out the neckline, your desired neckline from the back, and that's so. So my desired neckline here is 1.5 inches, which I just choked, and I'm cutting out now. So 1.5 inches, doing the same thing, that is slanted by 1.5 as well. Please always make sure you do that. Then I'll be arranging my fabric for me to also get the same thing for the front. So making bubus are actually very easy to make once you've known how to cut, once you cut it properly, because I'm just going to shape it 1 inch, 1 inch, bias the neck or put facing in the neck, as the case may be, and that is all. But remember, for this style, it's having sequin in the front. So because it's having a sequin in the front, I'm just going to mark my front. You see me there chalking the front now for us to follow the shape at which the sequin is going to fall. So here we go. This is the front. So I decided to fold it back to the front, so that while sewing, you can get the chalk would be on top while sewing, so you can follow through. Then for the slits, depends on how high the client wants it. I took it to 20 inches. Now the center, after folding it, then you cut it out. So this is just what you need. This one, you are not cutting the front and back separately, then sewing. So now I'll be chalking out the part I want for my sequin, to place the sequin, because it is a v-neck. It's going to follow like a Y shape. It's actually going to be like a Y shape. So I've marked the center. I'm marking the center now, the straight line. Can you see? So for you to get your V shape, what you'll be doing is, that's your exact V measurement, your V neck. You'll be curving. How wide do you want it? I wanted mine to be 3 inches. So you'll be taking it from the neckline 3 inches, from the neckline of the V 3 inches. If it's 3 inches you want, if it's 3.5, that's how you'll be taking it. Then you connect it straight to the center as you can see, and then you also continue from there. I believe you can see the chalk. Yes, I believe you can see the chalk. So you connect it. That is how to get a perfect V, or should I say a Y shape. So you're not going to cut out. If you want 6 inches for the placement, you would not be cutting out exactly 6 inches from your sequin, because doing that will affect the neck. The neck is wider. So you get from the neck, you arrange how you want your neckline to be. Then you keep following the process down as I am doing. It is actually very easy and to make. So this is the chalk line again. Can you see my V? Can you see my V? Sorry, I think I mentioned 3 inches. It was 3.5 that was for the neck. So I'm just gonna, this is it. Then I've connected it. My neck is going to follow that V process. So while it's here, I believe you can see the shapes of everything. I believe you can see the shapes of everything. So this is how you'll be folding it. You have to fold it this big so you can get your neckline. You have to fold it this big so you can get your neckline. If you fold it smaller than that, you won't be able to achieve that neckline, because neckline is wide. It's wider than, if the neckline is wide, as in the neckline is not a straight line. So that's just all that we'll be doing. After cutting it, I'm just going to, please, it's always nice. I didn't show the sewing process. It's always nice to stay your sequin material first before sewing, because it shifts, and if you are not careful, it is going to disturb you a whole lot. So after cutting it like this, I went ahead to stay. Then I placed it on my neckline. Then I started my sewing, rather. Then I started my sewing. I secured it with pins. So try as much as possible to also secure with pins. And then if you see it was not enough, I joined. Now things are now kind of pricey, so they are reducing. If you take note of your length, it's no more by 60. They're trying to find a way to reduce a lot. So here I joined. I had to join my sequin here. So all you just have to do is to join. This is after cutting the joinings. Can you see? So that is that about it. Once you get your center right, then you continue. Either you're facing or you're putting lining. You sew. You sew the elastic parts. You put your elastic the normal way, then you shape by 1 inch, and that is all. Can you see that it's having the V effect? Yes. Thank you very much for watching my channel. Do well to subscribe if you've not subscribed, and if you are a returning a subscriber, thank you so much for watching. Thank you, and bye bye. See you in the next video tutorial.